Hello everyone, I'm Sindhu, founder of Growth Circle, and in today's episode, we are super excited to have Ashwini, who is a dynamic leader, entrepreneur, mom, and a very inspiring professional. We are lucky to have her here. Ashwini, looking forward to it.
Thank you, Sindhu. I think Growth Circle is an inspiration for many women, and thanks a lot for inviting me on this. I hope I can inspire some of the women with my stories. And what I'm currently working is on two different aspects. One is empowering people in the community, and another one is empowering myself. So, as part of empowering people, I do have a startup where I initiated this startup, where we kind of look at people who are kind of from ITIs and diplomas, and we kind of take them on roles for different aspects of electrical journey. And then today I'm also working as an leader in Philip Morris. I head the site here in India, and also I'm the board of director for Philip Morris India entity. Every woman should concentrate on them first. They are the first priority, and then is the next. So I feel many times we never take out that time for ourselves, and we are like busy, and finally you end up in such a way that you find, okay, I never did anything what I liked in my life. So we need to get back there. So what I would recommend everybody here is that please take some time out. Please do take care of yourself. You are the first priority in your life, and then comes your next priority. Linda, I also feel that everybody should have their own space. Today, I want to show you my own space where I come here to ideate. I feel sometimes this is me time where I soak in the sun, and I kind of look at the clouds, and I kind of imagine what I have to do and keep ideating.
Hey. Hi Ashwini, let's start with a quick round of introduction. Please tell us about you.
Hi Sindhu, my name is Ashwini Suresh. I'm born brought up in Bangalore, very proud Bangalorean. And I actually did my studies in Mysore. I am a graduate and a postgraduate in MBA. So career-wise, I think all Indians, mothers and parents would have told one thing: work hard. I think everybody starts the career with working very hard, right? The same thing I did. I did work hard very much. I got into Johnson & Johnson through the campus interview, and I started my career in Johnson & Johnson working in HR department. And I started working as a recruiter, and then moved into sourcing and did a lot of things within recruitment, resource management. And I have a nature where I cannot stick to one particular role beyond 2.5 years, because I feel it's like doing the same work day and day. So I keep changing myself to improve my skills. So beyond HR, I thought IT, what do these IT professions even do? I wanted to get into IT. So I started learning Civil, and I got into Civil development, not really into the technical development, but as functional analyst for Civil. Within Johnson & Johnson, I was an SME, and we first implemented Civil on one of the activity of resource management. So after the world of IT, I felt IT is not good for me. I'm a person of management and cannot sit in front of the system. So I discovered myself during that journey, and I thought I had to get back to my core, which is management. So I started picking up operational management as one of the core activity. I did a lot of vendor operations and vendor operation management in J&J, and then I moved on from J&J after a good 9 to 10 years from J&J to Unilever. In Unilever, I was working as vendor management. So as part of vendor management, what I used to take care is I kind of did the setup of the whole contract on the vendor management wing within Unilever. And today, I'm with Philip Morris, heading the site of India, and I'm working as a board of director, and also head the vendor management operations entirely.
Ashwini, would love to now hear about your entrepreneurship experience. How did that start? What inspired you, and what are the learnings from that experience?
Perfect. I think this is one of my favorite journey, I can say, in my life. So somewhere around 2015, after birth of my second kid, we had to spend more time, because at that point in time I did not have too much of support to look after my kids. Then I and my husband always used to get into an argument like, who is going to stay back today at the home to look after the kids, who's going to go to office. We always ended up having this situation almost like 3 or 4 days in a week, and then we thought we need to put a pause to it, and we cannot continue like this. Either one of us need to quit the job, either look after the house, and then one of us need to go to the job. So that was the time when we started thinking, what else can we do to sustain ourselves? Because financial freedom is something which makes you think better and makes you think more innovatively. If you do not have the freedom, I don't think you can even think at this point in time how the inflation is growing within India. Right? So keeping this in our mind, what we started is we started thinking, who should leave the job? So that was our first thought. So of course, like everybody, even I started thinking, okay, it's my turn, so maybe I should leave this job. And that's when my husband came up with an idea. He said, why should always that women has to leave the job? So you continue the job, then I would take care of family and the kids at the home. While he said that, I also sensed that he was not very happy to say that. But however, we came up with the thought, why don't we start something together so that he can also do something out of it. And at the same time, he was doing a lot of international assignments and used to be always in a travel, which he felt has to be stopped because kids were growing at that point in time. So finally, we took a call. In 2016, we started a very small company called Vamtech. And while I still continued to work in Unilever, my husband was the person who kind of started this, more to support me to work in Unilever and just to keep himself busy. That's how this started. While in 2018 and 2019, we both started becoming very serious about it. And in fact, in somewhere in 2019, December, I started discussing with Unilever that I would like to shift my priority from the company to whatever started. Somewhere in the March, I did have a discussion with Unilever. I said, can you give me, I was the first person to request this kind of thing in the company, asking that I'll be only working 0.5. You give me half of the salary and the other half of the day I want to dedicate for my company. So in March, I took all the required approvals from the organizational PNC head. And finally, I got an opportunity to work as a 0.5 resource with Unilever. And I did focus on upbringing our company parallel. By then, we had around 4 resources in our company, Vamtech, and I was still working employee of Unilever as 0.5 resource. And in the meantime, in the May, I get a news that COVID is hit, and we are all going to shut down the office, and we are all going to be either working from home, and many of them were also kind of losing their jobs. That's when we started thinking what exactly is going to be our future, because my husband had already left the job and I was a 0.5 resource with Unilever and 0.5 with this organization. So once again, back to the square, started thinking what are the other alternatives, right? So that's when God's grace, we just thought there has to be a very small investment done, which was at that point in time Omnivan. Maruti Omnivan was our investment. And the story behind this is, at that point in time, people never entertained our, basically let me tell you about this business. So Vamtech is a company which actually does all the electrical and electronics activities, especially electrical activities when it comes to any industry. There are quite a larger electrical equipments. We kind of do the servicing and the retrofitting of all these electrical equipments. So one thing what we learned in the COVID journey is idea is very important. So we started thinking how we can sustain our business while others are unable. We are also seeing a lot of our peers and our neighbors who are not able to sustain their business. While we started thinking what is the best way that we can sustain our business. So one thing emerged is we need to invest less, but see how we can grow things. That's when the idea of purchasing a Maruti Omni van came into our mind. So at a very lesser cost of 1.2 lakhs, we purchased a Maruti Omni van. And why that came into our mind? Because at that point in time, anybody who were traveling in the public transport, none of the industries were accepting them to do any kind of electrical activity in their companies, because sanitation was very important at that point in time. So having our own car came in as one of the big gift, because people without contacting public after sanitizing themselves were able to travel in a sanitized car, so that they were allowed in all the industries to do the work. So our business did continue, it never stopped. And one of the proudest moment what we had at that point in time is we never said our employees, though we had only 7 employees at that point in time, we never said them that we cannot pay them any salary. So for almost 1.5 years, we did sustain to pay each and everybody for their salaries, for their jobs, and also we did give them place where they can stay along with us, and also food. So this is one of the very proudest moment in our startup. So during the COVID, while I was a 0.5 resource working in Unilever, 0.5 working on this, we did come up with different strategies, and we did come up with different plans how we can make this organization big. One of the key things which also emerged into our mind is like everybody focus mostly on BE or graduates from one of the bigger colleges, but we actually wanted to give back to community, and that's the reason we focus more on areas where they were not so much privileged like us. So we did take a lot of people who had just done their diplomas and ITIs, and some of them even in our organizations have not really been able to complete their education because of barriers at their home or because of their financial status. So we have hired them to give them a life, and that is how today as a company Vamtech is standing at 28 employees. And this is the dream of the company, to see how we can keep supporting each and every underprivileged person who is actually studying and who's wishing or willing to kind of take themselves to the next level. So that's our vision with this company.
So, Ashwini, we are at your favorite place today, and we would love to hear what advice you have for other women.
I don't think I have an advice, but I would like to share what is my experience with other women. So, one thing is, throughout in our career or throughout in our life, we actually dedicate our lives for others rather than for us. Like how you have seen in the flight, the attendant tells you first to put the oxygen mask on you and then on others. Similar way, I feel every woman should concentrate on them first. They are the first priority, and then is the next. So I feel many times we never take out that time for ourselves, and we are like busy, and finally you end up in such a way that you find, okay, I never did anything what I liked in my life. So we need to get back there. So what I would recommend everybody here is that please take some time out. Please do take care of yourself. You are the first priority in your life, and then comes your next priorities. And another thing is like work is not just everything. Do take pauses. It's very important to take pause from work, and you also have to take some time to appreciate what's happening around you, especially when it comes to nature. It can be with spending some time with your kids, or it can be something spending time on your hobbies. These are the things which keeps us alive, rather than just sitting and talking with the system or with somebody virtually. Connect more, rather than virtually, connect more with the people physically, so that you get to know each other, and that's one thing which takes you always up, is what I have seen. And never hesitate to change, because change is constant. And I feel you have to adapt to the change rather than looking at change as one of your thing which is not going to take you off. And another thing is networking. I would say advisory board. You have to create your own advisory board. What I call it as networking gold gift. So each of your in your advisory board have somebody who can actually appreciate your ideas and actually motivate you better. And this advisory board can be somebody next to you, next to your house, can be your PO, can be somebody who is your senior, can be anybody. Sometimes you also can get inspired by your kids. Even they can be your board of advisors sometimes. But I think there has to be an advisory board for you who can actually tell you where you're going wrong, what you're doing right. So I would say there are 4 main people who you need to choose. One is mentor, who can actually guide you when you're going wrong, saying that, okay, you're doing something wrong here, do something better. Second thing is your ally, somebody like who comes and tells next to you, is a peer who can tell that things are going fine, don't worry, everything is okay. And who also can pitch for you when something is not going right in front of others. And one more is your kind of sponsor, who is always there for you when you're taking a step. This is the person who comes and tells, okay, I'm there, I will take care of everything, go on. I think these are the key board of advisors you need to have, so that you can keep progressing in your career. I also feel that everybody should have their own space. Today I want to show you my own space where I come here to ideate. I feel sometimes this is me time, where I soak in the sun, and I kind of look at the clouds, and I kind of imagine what I have to do and keep ideating. I would like to show my space. This is my backyard in my house, where I love plants, so I've just done some plantation, very basic plantation here. And more than anything, what I like is swing. So that's the reason you see many swings. I also have 2 other swings inside, but these are the swings where kind of I sit, look at the sky, soak in the sun, so that I kind of start getting some ideas for the work. And what we have done is like we have made it mandatory that every Friday as a family we come here, sit here, have the dinner together as a family, and we kind of spend time open to the sky, so that we watch movies, we kind of call our friends and have our me time here mostly. And this is one of my favorite places so far.
Ashwini, loved talking with you. You are an entrepreneur, you're a mom, you're a leader, you're a world traveler. So curious to know what's next for Ashwini.
What's next? Nice question. So I can tell it in 90 days or 3 years or even 5 years. So everybody plans something for them in their shelf, right? So I have plans in next 3 years. I want to close the assignment with PMI, whatever I am kind of assigned with. And in down the line, next 5 years, I want to see how I can give back to the community with VAMTech by kind of supporting most underprivileged students where they do not know how to grow themselves. Then we want to bring them to the light and see how we can give them a career path. Not last but there is also an aspiration inside me how we can empower women with all the learnings from my journey. So that's one of the key things. So down the line, after 5 years, I see myself being a mentor or a coach to some of the people who really requires support, either in their career or in their personal life. That's where I would like to go towards to.